Hey everyone, I'm Maria. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. Today I thought I'd sit down and talk about my uni experience because semester 1 has ended and now it's basically semester 2 and I am in my final year of uni. I feel so excited but anxious at the same time that I am graduating this year and I cannot wait. It's going to be a long journey ahead, but we're going to get there. I think this is mainly for those who are actually going into uni, like freshers coming up. So I wish you guys all the best of luck. I'm going to be doing a little Q&A about my uni experience and all other questions that I've been asked a lot, especially on my very first room tour video, which is this one. I got asked a lot of questions on that, so I thought I'd just make a whole video now just answering everything to just help everyone out. So let's get right into it. A little context about myself. Like I said, I'm in my final year of uni. I study law, and in my first year I went into a private accommodation, and then the next 2 years I went to housing with a few of my friends. A lot of questions have stemmed from my private accommodation and like my whole experience on that. So the most common question I get asked is, where did I stay for first year? I stayed in a private accommodation. I paid around £156 per week, but that was back in 2021, and obviously the cost of living has gone up, so you're gonna have to double check on the price, and I'm pretty sure it has gone up since then. I stayed in a ensuite room with 4 other flatmates, and not gonna lie guys, the story of finding my first year accommodation was literally so stressful for me, only because I first applied through the uni accommodation, the direct accommodation that the uni provides you, but they ended up giving me an accommodation I didn't even list as my preferred. They gave the disclaimer that you're not guaranteed of getting that accommodation on your list, but it's all randomized no matter how early that you booked it through. I ended up getting Whitworth Park. That's the uni accommodation. If anyone has seen Whitworth Park, so I didn't want to stay in that accommodation for the whole year. I wanted to stay in somewhere where it's comfortable for me, where I'm actually going to feel like home because I'm going to be living there. I ended up having to book last minute in where I stayed, which was Manchester Gardens. I booked this very last minute because I was on holiday with my family. I was so stressed finding this because if I remember correctly, I was in London for like a week, and in the streets of London, as everyone was having fun, I was on my phone busy trying to find a place for me to stay for uni, and I was so stressed because I had nowhere to stay. But luckily I did find the one I eventually stayed at. It all worked out in the end. And luckily for you guys, I have partnered up with Amber Students to help you stress less about finding your accommodation and not stress like me. Amber Students is a booking platform that provides you with a wide range of accommodation options that ranges from the low budget end and the high budget end. So you literally have a lot of options that will cater for your needs and wants. It's very student friendly, and it has a free cancellation policy, a no visa no pay policy, so for those international students out there, it's one less thing to worry about. And it doesn't end there guys, you literally can get £15 discount by using my link down below, and for those booking early, for UK and Australia, you can get a £50 cashback. So how good is that guys? What more could you ask for? All you have to do is click the link down below in my description, and you can go ahead and search up what area you're looking for, and it will pull up a whole list of all the accommodations available in that location. You can also sort out the list to make your search a lot easier by specifying the uni, your move-in month, your budget per week, and the duration of your stay. You can also filter out specific wants to make the list more catered for your needs to find the perfect accommodation for you. It's so easy and so simple. You get all the available options all on one page. With that being said, don't forget to use the link in my description to access all the perks and stop stressing about where you're gonna stay for uni. The next question that I get a lot is about making friends, purely because there's a difference between an actual student accommodation with the uni and a private accommodation. The accommodation that you get from uni is obviously guaranteed that they're all going to be majority first years because they are the priority and you know they're going to the same uni as you. Whereas in a private accommodation, you literally get postgraduate students, you get all different ages, you get all different people from different unis in that location. And private accommodations tend to be a lot more quieter and tend to be more focused, comparing it to a uni accommodation where you're freshers, you're gonna want to go out all the time, you're gonna want to party, you're gonna want to experience the uni life basically. And a lot of people have voiced out about worrying if they're gonna make make friends, if they're gonna struggle with the uni life. And my answer to that is no. A lot of people in my private accommodation in my first year anyway was students in their first years. A lot of the friends I met was through my course and the societies I joined. Yes, you're gonna be living in that accommodation, but you literally meet so many people in uni that you'll end up having their socials. If you really wanted to link up or meet up with anyone, you can do that. It does not matter what accommodation you stay at. And if you want to go out for like fresher events, there's so many on campus giving out flyers to tell you about fresher events. You're not going to miss out on the uni experience because of where you're staying. And that's my opinion anyway. Like, I'm saying this from my point of view because I got lucky with my accommodation. It was coincidentally all girls and we were all in the same year, and one of them was also in the same course as me. Like I said, they were my friends. We did things together. But the people that I live with now are literally people outside of that I've met. I would personally say that don't worry about booking a private accommodation. Don't worry about not making friends because you're not booking through the uni accommodation. Regardless, you will meet your people. You're gonna meet so many people in your first year, but there's also so many people that you're just not gonna contact ever again. But then there's also so many people that you will hang out with constantly, study with constantly. But the only thing I will say is don't force it. Obviously put yourself out there, but a lot of people try to force themselves of making friends, and then it ends up being like the wrong crowd. And for uni, I highly suggest to go where it feels right for you, because uni is nothing like A levels, nothing like high school. It's literally, personally, it's literally where you're going to feel the most growth and the most like personal development, because it's literally you going from a teenager to graduating in your 20s. It's just a whole process. With that being said, I went into uni during like the COVID years, which meant that my first year was half online and half not. So it was harder for me to actually meet people and like mingle with because of the COVID restrictions, and it was harder for me to be on campus because of COVID. Obviously now it's basically like all back to normal, lectures are normal again, and uni is somewhat normal again. But so I would say for me, telling my experience is very different to the freshers going up to uni now. Who you are will attract the people that will fit in for you. You know what I'm trying to say? The next common question that I get is, how is uni like? How is the University of Manchester like? Disclaimer, this is all my opinion and my experience. The Uni of Manchester is very big. Like, there is a lot of students. My whole cohort alone is big, and it can feel isolating at times. And I think a lot of people feel that as well. You feel so isolated, but then at the same time, you know there's people there. Things can get complicated when dealing with course problems. What I mean by that is, like, if there's timetabling issues, we've had timetabling issues, we've had like general issues about like the course in general, and it took a while for the specific people to like sort it out, which was frustrating for us students. But then also at the same time, it goes both way. We're all frustrated at the same time. When it comes to like individual problems, it does get taken care of. Me personally, I felt like there was support available. They give you an academic advisor, and they're like your first point of contact whenever you need help. They also give you a well-being officer that you can reach out to. It's a bit of an odd thing to describe because I think it varies for each person. Like I said, it can feel isolating, but at the same time, you know there's people there. That's literally my general opinion about how the uni is like. Obviously, it'll vary from course to course. They do give you a lot of opportunities to network. There's a lot of opportunities to socialize with your course. There's a lot of opportunities for your career paths. Honestly, my uni experience in general has been like up and down. A lot of uni students do go through that. Yeah, like I said, help is there. They do encourage you to reach out if you need help. You will get emails from them. The next commonly asked question is, I feel like I've already answered this, but my whole experience as a whole and how I feel graduating and what I could say and give advice for like people who are coming up to uni. The one thing that I always say to people is put yourself out there. If it feels uncomfortable, uncomfortable in the good way. You need to feel uncomfortable to grow, and that's the one thing I always say to people. Like, yes, it may feel scary going into a lecture full of 200 other students. It's going to be scary, and yes, it's scary going to networking events. It's going to be scary, but regardless, you need to push yourself and you need to put yourself out there. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in this bubble where you wish you would have done that, you wish you have done this. this and that, and you would have regret. And I feel like I felt that a lot in my first year because I was going through something in my first year and I got stuck in that bubble. So that's always something I say to people, is that just constantly push yourself, because the more you do it, the more comfortable you will get and the less regrets that you will have. I personally do have regrets in my first year, but at the same time I don't, only because I know that I've learned from that already. And me graduating this year, like, I look back and I think, wow, like, I really went through that. And a lot of people may feel the same way, may not, but yeah, that's my personal like feelings and my advice. And obviously have fun, don't overwork yourself, don't burn yourself out. People say first year doesn't matter because it's just first year, it's not going to count for your grade, but trust me, it does, especially when you're trying to find placement, internship, like any of that. It does matter. So don't let your academics fall, but at the same time have fun. You're there to experience all sorts of things. With that being said, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any more questions, just leave them down below. I'll leave everything down in the description box. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you in my next one.